Hello, Year 8, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time that you are watching this video. Today, we'll be taking some spelling revision in English, which is basically going over what we've already gone over in physical class and in the Zoom classes. We'll be talking about adding ed and ing to words. So going over on the first rule, if you have a word that ends with the letter E, for example, the word bake or the word smile, usually we drop the E whenever we're adding ing or ed. So we're going to drop it. So bake becomes baking with no E, and smile becomes smiling with no E as well. In the past tense, when we're adding ed, we drop one E and we just add the ed. So it becomes just one E with ed. All right. On the second rule, we have what if words ends with a double E or a YE or an OE. We do not, in these cases, drop the last E. For example, free becomes freeing with its own double E, and die becomes dying with the E still attached to it. However, when we are adding the ED, we do not make them three E's, because there's already two E's present. It does not make sense if the word becomes freed with double E. With triple E, this is wrong. It becomes a double E. Same goes with died, becomes with only one E as well. For OE, we have the word tiptoe. So tiptoe would become tiptoeing, and tiptoed as well with one E. Moving on, if your word ends with a vowel plus the letter L, this is L, okay? So in this case, we have to double the L. For example, travel becomes traveling, and traveled, and equal becomes equaling and equaled, okay? It has to come with a vowel before the letter L. For example, here we have E as the vowel, and over on equal, we have A as the vowel. Similarly, if your word ends with a consonant, vowel, consonant, we have to double the final consonant. For example, you have the word admit, becomes admitting and admitted with double T, and refer becomes referring and referred with double R. In this case, however, we have an exception. If your word originally ends with ER, for example, suffer and loiter, then it just becomes suffering and suffered with only one R, and loitered and loitering with only one R. We do not double the R in this case. All right? Another exception is also the word stutter. All right? Now, moving on. What if you have a word that ends with two vowels and a consonant? For example, the word treat and wheel. We see that we have two vowels here, and then it ends with a consonant. So in this case, we do not double. It's different than when it's just a consonant, vowel, consonant. If it's vowel, vowel, consonant, we do not double the last consonant. For example, it becomes treating and treated with only one T, as well as wheeling and wheeled for the word wheel with one L. All right? Something you have to pay attention to is what if the word ends with the letter C? In this case, we have to add a K before adding our ing or ed. For example, the word picnic becomes picnicking, and picnicked with a K, as well as the word traffic becomes trafficking, and trafficked with K attached to it. All right? Otherwise, if we have like just normal words that follow none of these rules, like address and correct, we just add our ing and we add our ed, becoming addressing and addressed, and correcting and corrected. That's it for today. Please feel free to contact me or Miss Hint if you have any questions, or come up to us anytime in school. Thank you. Bye.